Your work, definitely. As I said, Asif Bhai, you have to be the Asif Bhai. He doesn't do good documentation. I keep telling him. Uh, but he does fantastic implementation. He's totally committed to it. So if you Google women's organizations in the country, you will find certain names, some for scale, some for outreach, some for doing great work. So one is be somebody, right? An agency to go to for technical work, agency to go to for implementation scale, agency to go to for bringing great reports. And every donor has a different requirement. So be somebody there if you want to attract funding and attract good people. Also have a large scale, and I don't know why don't people realize, because it requires investment, we should have a good internship program so that more young people know about it, they talk about it, they also bring in funding later. I have always worked with interns, and they also become somebody. Somebody joins a CSR team, somebody joins a bank, somebody joins a multilateral donor, and they talk about it if you have given them a great experience, saying they don't have money now, this NGO, but they have the potential because they are so passionate about this issue. So I think that is another thing that NGOs need to invest in, understanding fully well that these young people also have learning needs. So it has to be mutually satisfactory experience because they have learning needs and you have something to take from them in terms of their ideas, their writing skills, their presentation skills, putting the context right. So if you are careful about both these things, I think the interns can do a lot of good work. Or you have great board members, have your governance structures right, don't have silent board members. Ask each one of them to contribute something, either their time or their contacts or their. So having silent board members doesn't help anyone. We don't want people who just sign on an annual statement. We want people who are passionate about the issue themselves. So choose your board very carefully. You need some for putting good words, you need some for funding, you need someone who can work with you on day-to-day basis without money. So I think those are the things. Also reach out to or identify those donors who work with young NGOs. I have worked with young NGOs, Ganesh, a lot because I know they are hungry for money and name. So they put in their best foot forward. Without naming, I can tell you the senior or bigger NGOs have disappointed me all through my career. And that's a big lesson I have learned. Wherever I have been in charge, I have brought in new NGOs, which find it difficult to spend 15 lakh rupees, but in 15 lakhs, they work for 35 lakhs because they put their heart into it. So and in the bargain, you also build capacity of many organizations to work on that particular issue. Otherwise, it's difficult to find good NGOs. So I have worked with young NGOs and that they have never disappointed me, I would say. That there again, why I don't know why I keep going back to three things, but three things, very important ones. I don't have exact figures, but I can tell you 70% of the NGO leadership is with men, whereas the workforce is 70% women. So one thing for me is don't shy to be a leader. From day one, when you join, show your leadership skill, develop your leadership skill, invest in yourself to be a leader. So you cannot be a worker throughout your life. So women have to start taking charge of the development sector, particularly when it is related to working with women, children, housing, issues that affect women more. So that's one, leadership. Second is, as I said, invest in yourself. I used to, not used to, I'm still doing it actually for the last 15 years. When I kind of reached a stage where I was getting stagnated, that nobody will look at me as a leader. I come from a background of shifting places where my husband was an army officer and we were changing places from one to another. So you have to be stable at one place to be a leader in that organization. So I started investing in myself. Every year, Ganesh, I go for a fellowship program, where even if I have to pay to travel, say to a ILO center or somewhere, because they don't pay your travel, I saved money every year to do that. So um, identify your learning needs. Also, that helps you in two ways, Ganesh. One, it gives you a big network of people to reach out to if you need help. So I'm part of 30 professional groups. If I need some expert on disability tomorrow, I can immediately write saying, hey, I'm looking for an expert on disability. Can you suggest someone immediately? Hey, I'm looking for funding for this particular thing. Can you suggest some donors? Invariably, you'll find the answer within 3 hours. Secondly, you also have an expert group of these 30 groups who you can rely on for good advice. Of course, it increases your social capital. So definitely you really want to leverage that. And last thing, these women leaders, besides investing in themselves for their own leadership journey, and leadership is one part of the training that they need to take in. And fourth, they have to find their own passion. You start working on, for example, on education, but your heart lies with senior citizens, right? Slowly start identifying what would you do. So again, going back to the bucket list of 3 things, saying, I hate it, even though I'm working on it, I hate this job because I don't like to work with young children. I can do this if I don't have anything else. I won't hate it. And thirdly, I would love to do it. So start investing in what you would love to do. Yeah, slowly start figuring out as to what you don't want to join. It'll take time. I'm not saying everybody has is in a fortunate place to identify from very beginning and make a choice, but slowly start moving in the direction of that bucket list which says I would love to do it, and that will take you to that dream that you have about being where you want to be. So I think that's what I would say.